Obese people of Reddit, what is something non-obese people don't understand, or can't understand? The guilt that comes when you're seen eating anything at all. The, good for you, if you're seen eating a salad because the only possible reason a fat dude would eat a salad is to lose weight. The existential dread every time you get a random pain in your chest or stitch in your side and think that this could finally be the heart attack. The fact that you can go days or weeks at a time without really feeling bad about being fat, but then all of a sudden one day it's all you can notice about yourself. Summer fudging sucks. It's too hot anyway, but being fat makes it hotter. And then you get worried that, despite having perfectly good if not over-the-top hygiene, maybe you're starting to have fat guy smell. Edit. Also, the unsolicited advice from incredibly well-intentioned people that don't think we haven't heard it all already or don't know it already. Logic brain versus emotional brain is so misunderstood. The constant need to physically adjust yourself. I wear clothes that fit, but I'm still constantly adjusting my clothes, my body position, etc. just to be comfortable and for my clothes to have a chance of hiding some of what's going on here. My thin friends almost never adjust their clothes and such. Chafing. It's particularly cruel because it makes you even more likely to avoid walking or exercise, thus ensuring you put on more weight. As a former obese person, having to pull down your t-shirt/shirt to prevent it from lifting up. My non-obese self has well-fitting clothes and I still subconsciously pull my t-shirt down. That and the glaring looks that you get when you stand in food lines at buffets or at airports. Shopping for clothes has definitely different criteria than skinny people. It's not, ooh, that looks pretty, but ooh, they actually sell this in 5XL. Finding clothes that fit, worrying if furniture would support you. Oh lord, the furniture. I'm not obese but definitely not small. I sat down on a chair and broke it years ago. That chair was being held together by a hope and a prayer and would have probably broke if the wind blew too hard. But I was the one that broke it, so I got pointed and laughed at. Anyways, I check chairs before sitting down now. Edit, there are a lot of replies to this comment. I'm sorry, we've all experienced this trauma. Fudge plastic, metal, and wood chairs. We only sit on tree stumps from now on. Also thank you for those who asked if I'm okay. I am all good. This happened decades ago at a family gathering. After my cousins stopped laughing at me, they helped me back up. As someone who was once obese, and now is just a bit overweight. Holy fudge, is it hard to keep it off. I still want to eat like I did when I was heavier. This is where I'm struggling. Losing the weight? I can do that. I am doing that. Have just about done that. It sucks, but it's not complicated. Do the exercise every single day. Do the healthy/low-calorie diet every single day. Be hungry every day and have sore legs every morning. Not fun. But not hard to figure out. I just have to wake up every day and say, no, I'm not a biatch. This isn't the day I give up. But that's not a long-term lifestyle. I just decided to lose the pounds, and until I did that, healthy food prep and exercise was going to be my hobby. The thing I prioritize when not working. But now that I'm here and more or less at a healthy weight, I don't know how to spin the plates to maintain this normal. I have 30 years of prior life experience that I need to ignore. Because if I'm like, I made it, now back to how things were, I'll just lose all this progress and have to do another 6+ months of hell. I'm considering getting into weightlifting just so that I can have a replacement hobby that won't contribute to everything falling apart. How much you dread people taking photos of you because it always ruins your day to see yourself in a photo. How it feels when the We Fit lady says, "That's obese," in her cheery voice. Back in college, we had a We in our dorm and it was quite popular. I remember I got the We Fit for Christmas and brought it with me after break. Everyone got excited to set up their profiles. My friend stood up to get her profile set up with all of us there. The BMI calculator does its animation. That's obese. Talk about AR/watch people die inside kind of moment. Nobody knew what to say. I felt so bad for her. God damn it, Japan. You are harsh. When you're fat, but people like you, they will divorce your fatness from your character, but they'll still talk negatively about fat people in front of you, simply because of their fatness, and you just sort of sit there like. How you become expected to be the garbage disposal. Oh, hey, there's leftover cake from coworker's birthday thing. We'll take it to fat coworker, they'll eat it. Or the last donut or whatever. And then they get all upset when we say no and are like, it'll go to waste, because I'm already fat, so what does it matter, right? I dropped a lot of weight before, and family or friend reunions go one of three ways. 1. The person tells you look great and they ask what you did. 2. They'll tell you look so much better and healthier because they were concerned about you. However, the surprising one is 3, they'll insult or complain about the heavier you like it was a completely different person. And number 3 isn't coming from people you normally have contentious relationships with or people you have tough love/hard joking relationships with. You expect jokes from those people. It surprisingly comes from the people you were very close to, sometimes ones you never hear speak badly of anyone. The hardest I've heard was, "I'm surprised we were even friends." On a similar note, a friend found out I was much heavier before I met her and she said, "We wouldn't have even been friends." It's those comments that stick with you. Even more than the insults from when you were heavier. It's harder because it validates the insecurities you had about your weight, how people perceive you, and how conditional some of your seemingly closest relationships actually are. Thanks to depression and quarantine, I've put some of that weight back on and those remarks still come to mind when I'm feeling insecure. I have been heavy and light and back again several times, which takes a massive toll on the body on its own, but there you go. I have always mentally been obese, in terms of the space I think I take up in the world. Even at my lightest, which was about 10 pounds north of my ideal weight, I would still check every chair to make sure it's not rickety, still turn sideways to get between things when I didn't need to, still eyeball things like amusement park rides and theater seats because I thought I wouldn't fit comfortably. Obesity has a huge impact on the body, but also on the mind. It's why they say things to men like, "Find a fat girl to have sex with, she'll be grateful." It's also a little bit of armor though. If anyone is going to make fun of me, it's going to be for one thing. Being fat. No other insecurities ever get picked on. I'm seen as only being one thing, so I've gotten pretty okay with people pointing it out. How easy it is to get from normal weight to obese almost without realizing it or forgetting, until looking for new clothes or seeing photos of yourself. I work a job that's very active, so I'm constantly standing or walking. I was part of a team opening a new restaurant and we hit a delay, so I ended up sitting at a desk doing admin work for 6 months. I didn't change my diet, never crossed my mind, and was shocked at how quickly I gained 20 pounds. It took almost a year of no alcohol, no sugar, high-protein diet and daily workouts to get rid of it. We know we're fat. Like, trust me, I know. Losing it is harder than it was to gain. I know I just ate, but my body is screaming that it's starving. Like down to the lightheaded, nausea symptoms of not eating all day even though I ate an hour ago. I know a lot of people think drugs like Ozempic and Wegovy are cheating, but Wegovy has literally changed everything. I can eat a healthy portion of food and be satisfied. Just how much internalized shame we carry. If you've seen someone who was really skinny struggle with shame, with thinking that they are too fat, and feeling guilty about how they look, that same shame lives inside so many of us. And a lot of us are honestly doing the best we can with subpar healthcare and normalized stigma. From a woman's perspective, that men don't think you are allowed to say no to them or reject them. There are a lot of men out there who think because you're fat, you're probably lonely and you should be happy with any male attention you get. How people treat you. With active disdain. People glare at you, they scoff at you, they make faces of disgust when seeing you. Random ass people feel free to honk at you and yell shit from their car when you walk alongside the road. The hatred is honestly intense. How painful being alive is. I'm not obese anymore. Last year I was 375-ish lbs, I was obese then. Living is painful. People would tell me to exercise, that I'd get runner's high, that it's easy. No, life is pain at nearly 400 pounds, everything is so hard. I now weigh about 210 pounds, life isn't pain anymore, I still hate exercise, but when I exercise I get tired or exhausted depending on the intensity. I want to kill myself, borderline injured. Show your obese friend some kindness. How inhuman you feel being obese and how painfully aware of that you are when out in public by the up and down glances from people. The coldness, shortness, and avoidance. Also, unsolicited dieting advice/assumptions after mentioning that you're making lifestyle changes. I've researched fitness/health and read tons on obesity/metabolic dysfunction. Watched all the TED Talks and YouTube gurus. Went vegan, keto, did juicing, and fasting. Got blood tests and seen doctors/specialists/dietitians. I know a lot, I'm always learning. I've lost over 100 pounds since December. Yet people will chime in. Just cut out soda. Just eat less and move more, duh. Try keto, try bariatric procedures, etc. I never drank soda, always been a hydrohomie, also seltzer and herbal tea lover. So I really hate when people assume I slurp down a pallet of 2L sodas daily. I always preferred to eat my calories, not drink them. I do eat less now and move more. My sedentary obesity stemmed from unhealed trauma throughout childhood. Bad coping habit of binge eating. Severe agoraphobia, have spent years being housebound. Former suicide attempts and a toxic relationship. I'm well aware of what my mentality was to be so unhealthy by being so fat. I needed to face that first, and I finally have. I don't expect people to know or care to know any of that. I hated myself far more than anyone ever could anyway. Just because we are obese doesn't mean we can't do physical activity. People don't have to act surprised that we can indeed participate. I've heard this from people when I've gone to play soccer or any other sport. I am not the fittest guy playing, but it doesn't mean that I'm going to die if I run around for a bit. That for some of us, losing weight is extremely difficult. Some medications can make you excessively hungry. Also, those of us with long-term depression and anxiety issues often use food as a source of comfort. We know it's a poor choice, but in the moment, we don't think of anything but eating something tasty. Having people patronize us actually makes things worse, not better. I'm a fat guy. I know I'm fat. It's not surprising to me that I'm fat. I know exactly what it would take for me to lose this weight because I've done it before. But I like food, I hate exercise, I work a sit-down job, and my wife finds me attractive as I am, so there is no present tense incentive for me to lose weight. I know it's going to come back to kill me. I know the sleep apnea or the cholesterol or something is going to end my life a decade or two earlier than if I lost 100 pounds. There is not a soul on earth who wheezes going up a half a flight of stairs that genuinely believes they are not fat or that they are as healthy as a more fit person. Doesn't matter what they post online #BeJustBeautiful, they know. I know. We all know.